In the vibrant textile town of Rajasthan, a gifted young weaver faces his biggest challenge, not from the loom, but from the searing envy of a rival. Discover how embracing a heart free from jealousy becomes his most beautiful creation, a true testament to character. In the bustling, sun-drenched town of Bagru, Rajasthan, famous for its block printing and intricate weaving, lived a young man named Aryan. At 25, his hands moved with an almost magical grace over the loom, transforming plain cotton into exquisite fabrics, adorned with patterns that seemed to dance with life. His designs, often inspired by the desert flowers and the vibrant hues of Rajasthani sunsets, were sought after by merchants from distant cities. Aryan had learned his craft from his grandmother, a legendary weaver herself. He worked diligently in his small, open-air workshop, the rhythmic clack of his loom, a familiar melody in the narrow lanes. He supported his family with his artistry, always striving for perfection and innovation. Across the lane, in a larger, more modern workshop, was Daulat, a weaver a few years older than Aryan. Daulat was skilled, but his designs were often repetitive, lacking the spark and originality that made Aryan's work unique. As Aryan's reputation grew, so did Daulat's resentment. His colors are too loud. His patterns are childish. Daulat would grumble to his apprentices, loud enough for Aryan to hear. When a particularly large order came Aryan's way, Daulat would scoff at the local tea stall. Luck, nothing but sheer luck. He copies the old designs and calls them his own. Aryan heard these barbs daily. Sometimes a flicker of anger would rise within him, a desire to retort or to prove Daulat wrong. But he remembered his grandmother's gentle voice. "My child, true artistry is not just in the fabric, but in the heart that weaves it. Let your heart be free of knots, like a perfectly spun thread. Envy tangles the soul." He saw her quiet dignity, how she never spoke ill of others, always focusing on her own craft. One day, a prestigious national exhibition announced a major competition for traditional Indian textiles. Both Aryan and Daulat submitted their finest work. The tension in the town was palpable. When the results were announced, Aryan's vibrant desert bloom tapestry won the coveted Artisan of the Year award. Daulat's entry, while good, received no recognition. The very next morning, as Aryan was preparing to leave for a special market where his award-winning tapestry would be displayed, he discovered that one of his most intricate, nearly finished pieces, destined for a waiting client, had been deliberately damaged. Several key threads were cut, ruining the pattern. It was a cruel act, clearly sabotage. His first thought was Daulat. The anger surged, hot and bitter. But then, he remembered his grandmother's words about the unenvying grace of mind being like the highest conduct. He took a deep breath, pushing down the urge to confront Daulat. Instead, he calmly began to assess the damage. He realized he could not repair it in time for the client. Later that day, news spread like wildfire that Daulat's loom had malfunctioned severely, trapping his hand. He was in great pain and couldn't work. His apprentices, afraid of Daulat's temper, were hesitant to help him dismantle the complex mechanism. When Aryan heard this, he hesitated only for a moment. He thought of his damaged tapestry, the injustice. But then, a deeper sense of duty, of the propriety of conduct that his grandmother had always championed, guided him. He walked across the lane to Daulat's workshop. Daulat, pale with pain, looked up, surprised and wary. "What do you want, Aryan? To gloat?" Aryan knelt beside the loom. "No, Daulat, your hand is hurt. Let me help you with this mechanism. It's dangerous." With practiced hands, Aryan carefully and patiently worked to free Daulat's trapped hand, then spent hours guiding the apprentices in repairing the complex loom. He offered advice on new, more durable threads he had discovered, and even suggested a simpler yet elegant pattern for Daulat's next project. As the loom was finally put right, Daulat watched Aryan, his usual sneer replaced by bewilderment, then shame. Why, Aryan? After all I've said, all I've done. Aryan looked at Daulat, not with judgment, but with a quiet understanding. My grandmother always taught me that the finest thread a weaver can spin is not just of cotton or silk, but of a heart free from envy. It is the most important pattern in life, Daulat. It keeps our own designs pure. Daulat's eyes, usually hard, softened. He nodded slowly, a silent acknowledgement of the profound lesson. From that day, the rivalry began to fade. Daulat, though still competitive, never spoke ill of Aryan again. He started to focus more on improving his own craft and less on tearing others down. Aryan realized that by choosing kindness and inner peace over retaliation, he had not only upheld his own propriety of conduct, but had also woven a new, stronger thread of understanding in his community. His unenvying grace of mind proved to be the most beautiful and enduring pattern of all. Moral: the highest form of conduct and the truest strength lies in cultivating a heart free from envy, treating it as strictly as one would uphold any other virtue. Humorous touch. One day, after the loom incident, Daulat grumbled, "You're so calm, Aryan. Do you secretly meditate on a hot stove?" Aryan chuckled. "Only on the heat of the loom, Daulat. It keeps my focus."